top guy to go or the second guy to go. And when Pierce came into the game, evidently he had his signals crossed, and both of them went.
Horace Grant sits down. He has yet to score, and Joe Wolf, who scored 10 points off the bench against the Sixers last night. A big addition has been Joe Wolf since he joined the club, especially when Grant was hurt early. And Antonio Davis has picked up a foul. Team fouls 3 apiece with 1:33 remaining in the first quarter. Dick Stockton, Chuck Daly, Craig Sager here at Market Square Arena. Two of the big powers in the Eastern Conference after the Bulls, we should say. Anderson going to the hoop against Miller. Leaves it off for Dennis Scott, who hits another from downtown. He's got 4 already in this first quarter.
They're so lethal from that three-point line. They know how to hang around. Once they get the ball to Shaq, it's a case of moving it and finding that open guy. And when it comes to a guy like Scott, huge problem for the defense.
3-point lead for the Orlando Magic. McKee working against Wolf goes in, and a pushing foul before the shot. And that is the first foul inside 2 minutes, and it's on Joe Wolf.
First of the final 2 minutes on the Magic.
So the next foul on the Magic will put them in the penalty. Here's Travis Best with the ball, number 4. A lot of quickness. Adds a lot of zip to this team off the bench. Pierce. Out in three-point territory, fires away, wild shot, and slammed out off the glass by Shaquille O'Neal. That's his 6th rebound.
And the problem we talked about, it's all about offense. When you get Davis, one of the Davises or 2 of them in there, and Miller has to produce. He's shooting 1 for 6. He needs to get open, get some good shots. Of course, Orlando knows that also.
Shaq goes in against Antonio Davis, but the ball doesn't fall. Out of bounds, Indiana ball.
And this Pacer crowd wanted a foul against Shaquille O'Neal. They thought he came over the back, and Larry Brown is really up and incensed.
Playing for the last shot of the quarter. Travis Best at the point in a 3-point game. Best gives up the dribble into McKee over O'Neal. That's a fine play by Derek McKee at 6'10" over O'Neal. McKee has 8 points, and that will take care of the first quarter. A well-played first quarter. Dennis Scott with 4 from downtown, and the Orlando Magic lead the Indiana Pacers here at Market Square Arena before an enthusiastic crowd by a score of 21-20. Welcome back to the Market Square Arena in Indianapolis. Orlando leading Indiana by 1. And in the East, told you that Orlando has a 5-game lead, 5.5 over Indiana, but there's a big fight going on as the Pacers are 2 games ahead of the Cleveland Cavaliers and a half a game ahead of the New York Knicks. Cleveland is making a big fight. Remember, the first 4 teams will have home court advantage in the first round of the playoffs.
And it makes such a difference, particularly in that shorter series, and it's something they really will strive to handle and keep in hand.
And the team that has the 2nd best record in the Eastern Conference will have home court after that. And of course, Chicago will have home court forever the way they're playing, as John Koncak enters the game replacing Shaquille O'Neal. O'Neal scored 5 points. Anthony Bowie also checks in. He's played well off the bench since the All-Star break for the Orlando Magic. Derek McKee tries to feed it inside to Antonio Davis, and he does. Good inside passing by Indiana.
And a great play by Davis to square up his back to the outside of the floor, get square to the backboard, use his strength, and get it up there.
Joe Wolf with the ball along with Brian Shaw, John Koncak, Dennis Scott, and Anthony Bowie. And Scott hits one, not from 3-point range, but he has 14 points and leads all scorers. Best has his pass tipped by Shaw, recovered by McKee, who's in there with Reggie Miller, Antonio Davis, and Ricky Pierce, who buries one.
Yeah, moving left, takes a shot. He's had 2 wide-open jumpers, standing still and passed them up. Looked like a reluctant shooter that time. On the move, took the shot, hit it.
Larry Brown said he's going to have to use the 36-year-old Ricky Pierce as a small forward with his injury problems tonight. Pass out to Brian Shaw, who hits a 3-point shot. So someone other than Dennis Scott hits from downtown, and Orlando leads by a bucket.
Brian Shaw, 37% shooter, 25 for 3s. But to talk to Brian Hill today. He says, but he makes baskets at opportune times, and that's true.
Joe Wolf committing his second foul as we pick up other scores around the NBA. Hayward Workman has come in the game. He's been a forgotten man after doing so well in the playoffs last year for Indiana. And, of course, he's the object of perhaps trade rumors. And Larry Brown would hope that Workman would get a chance if he can't play here. Travis Best misses the jumper. Workman basically has lost his job to the rookie Best. Here's Best, can't go anywhere against Shaw. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Antonio Davis muscles John Contact for the hoop.
Really worked the box. Terrific inside play. Great post play.
Tied at 26, nearly 2 minutes gone by, second quarter. Posting up Shaw against Best. Finds the open man, Joe Wolf. Scott. And Scott travels as he tried to make a move to the hoop.
Dennis Scott will probably do that once a game where he'll grab that walk. Watch this work. Watch this post-up work. Starts left, backs up strong, gets his position, comes up with the left hand, knows how to use the glass, get it to the hole.
But Orlando has turned it over 7 times tonight to only once for the Indiana Pacers. And Penny Hardaway will come back in, replacing Scott, who goes out with 14. And there is the turnover story, which has kept Indiana on an even plane in this game against the Magic. Pick and roll to McKee. Loses the ball and is fouled. It's on Brian Shaw. First against Brian Shaw.
Got a little bit of a break on that play. Didn't look, it looks like he was faking rather than shooting, but he's going to go to the line for 2.
Last time these teams played on the 27th of January, the Pacers won 102-79. The lowest scoring output of the year for the Orlando Magic. That despite what we saw, the 7-point output in the fourth quarter against Detroit.
Yeah, that was prior to the All-Star break, and I think they were really thinking about a little vacation. And sometimes teams get caught. We talked about it before we left. And Indiana basically hasn't come out of it. They lost a game before, and they've struggled since the break. They need to come out of it. Obviously, they need to get people healthy, and they need offense, and Rick Smits is a big, big part of that.
He's out with the flu tonight. Horace Grant, you saw, replaced Wolf. Here's Contact. Missed the layup. Missed it again. 2 misses. And Hayward Workman. Ricky Pierce misses. Loose ball. Tell you what Larry Brown has done. He's put in a lot of quickness in his lineup. Here's a break as Shaw feeds Anthony Bowie with the layup.
And Ricky Pierce from that range looks like he's struggling. Turned down 3 shots, only made the one going to the left. And Reggie Miller's going to come back in because they need his offense.
Hayward Workman with his first personal foul. So with Workman out there as well as Travis Best. Best now will leave the game. So Reggie Miller comes in. So a more conventional lineup that Larry Brown is using after having 2 diminutive or 2 smaller point guards.
Larry Brown has already read that he's not getting the offense from his post guard because the point guard, they're having shots, not making. So he's going to go to all 3 of them, find one that might be able to do it offensively.
Reggie Miller has scored only 2 points in the game. And you know that the Pacers will be looking for him now. Just under 9 minutes remaining in the first half. Workman controlling, looking to Dale Davis. Lost control and out of bounds. Turns it over to the Magic.
One of those tough plays where he had a lane, thought he saw it, but it caught on his thigh, and then ultimately kicked it out of bounds.
Anthony Bowie. Little pressure put on by Indiana. They're extending their defense. Shaw missed the 3, and inside a pushing foul has been called against a loose ball foul against Antonio Davis. That is his second personal.
And Larry Brown wants to get out of this half without being in deep foul trouble with his inside people. So he'll keep rotating to try to keep it under 3 if possible.
And that's exactly what he's doing, Chuck, as Dwayne Chinsis, who had a great start in the first quarter, will replace Davis, who leaves with 2 fouls. Chinsis scored 6 points and had 4 rebounds as a starter tonight in place of Rick Smith. Smith, who's out with a flu injury. Contact, no basket. Foul before the shot. Workman with his second foul, and Shaq has had enough of a rest, and Shaquille O'Neal checks back into the game, replacing John Concat.
This is a game that for the Orlando Magic, they really need to win. With the Indiana Pacers having some key people out, they can't afford to lose a game in their own minds.
Grant finds the open man, Anthony Bowie, and he's hit on the arm by Workman. So Haywood Workman has picked up 3 quick fouls since coming in. But you make a good point, Chuck, especially when you consider that, again, that the Magic have beaten only one winning team on the road all year. That was the Houston Rockets.
Yeah, a little bit of a surprise. I don't know if it's a maturity factor, although they should have gotten over that. But I think it's a club that has to learn to grind very much the way golfers do on every shot to win tournaments. Strange things happen in the game, and the way you learn to do that is in the regular season. You don't just turn it on or off.
Anthony Bowie, the one-time assistant trainer and equipment manager with the Houston Rockets about 9 years ago. That's right. He worked in the equipment and training. Now, 9 years later, vital part of this Orlando bench. 30-27 in favor of the Magic. It's been close throughout. Shinsis with a turnaround, air ball. Here come the Orlando Magic. Bowie, good feed to Grant. That was a good pass. Grant couldn't convert. Miller still can't get going as his runner goes off the rim. 1 for 7 from the field is Reggie Miller. Only 2 points, coming into the game averaging over 21.
Dwayne Shinsis on that particular play had the rebound, took his eye off of it, and dropped it.
Oh, no way to stop that. And the lob pass to Shaquille O'Neal, who now has 7. And a 5-point Orlando lead. That's their biggest lead of the game. Ricky Pierce, double team. Tip, great play by Hardaway. Behind his back to Bowie. Bowie gets the layup and a foul. And Anthony Hardaway with a sensational play at the other side. One of the better ones you'll see all year set up this possible 3-point play.
Here's the pass, gets deflected. Watch this over the shoulder because he knows exactly where he was breaking to. He knew. Watch this. Watch the anticipation. Not so much the deflection, but watch. He already knows the direction he wants the ball to go. But they have missed a lot of layups, and now they'll compound it with free throw misses. That's what keeps Indiana in the game.
Foul was on Mark Jackson, and Bowie could not complete the 3-point play. Magic have run off 8 in a row. It's been a streaky kind of game.
Watch Shaquille O'Neal set up his man, in this case, Dwayne Shinsis. Anthony Bowie gets the ball. Watch the reverse right there. Shinsis was fighting him for position. Once you fight him and get overplay on that side, watch what happens. Because they've cleared out the weak side, wouldn't matter anyway. When he catches the ball in the front of the rim, forget it.
All right, Chuck, and right now, let's take a look at tonight's Visa leaderboard and the top shooters in the NBA, led by Shaquille O'Neal at 60%, but Dale Davis is 5th, and the Indiana Pacers at 56.7. 7-point lead. And a quick foul on the inbounds pass against Shaw, his second foul.
The Orlando Magic setting up a little trap there. Shinsis catching the ball, makes a nice move, splits the defender, and picks up the foul.
Mark Jackson with the ball. Dale Davis, Derek McKee, Dwayne Shinsis, and Reggie Miller. There's the shooting story of the game this quarter. Turnover. Orlando has it. Shaq tried to feed it to Bowie. Deflected. Hardaway leaves an open Shaw. Shinsis with the rebound for the Indiana Pacers. He has not picked up any fouls, and he has 5 rebounds. Miller continues to struggle. He's 1 for 8 from the field, only 2 points in the game. And a big reason why the Pacers trail by 7. Bowie feeds O'Neal, who makes the exclamation point, and the lead is 9.
You're right on. They're getting not enough offense, and particularly for Miller. He's one of the go-to guys. He has to have it. Here's a guy you don't expect to get it. Gave us a couple of field goals early.
Anthony Bowie is still under the basket. He gets up limping as Hardaway misses a jumper. Loose ball. Dale Davis, it's 5 against 4, and Miller will get a bucket. But Anthony Bowie was never in the last up and down as he's on the floor now, shaken up with an injured left foot. No timeout.
They're trying to get it over, trying to get it up and get a timeout.
They're going to get it now. A full timeout called, and Brian Hill is talking to Terry Durham as to why there wasn't a stoppage of play with the injury. And they allowed Orlando to play shorthanded for as long as they did.
Because someone has to call timeout. That's what the official's going to say. They have the coach can't call timeout. It has to be a player.
So the Orlando Magic on another run, 10-0 run, and a timeout with 5:42 remaining in the first half.
Here's Anthony Bowie going to the hoop. And you say, where did the injury occur? Didn't happen there, didn't happen there, but hold it right there. Right there, when his foot hit the padding on the stanchion, that's when he injured his foot, and they had to call a timeout.
You said sometimes officials will do, but basically the rule is that you have to call the timeout.
Yeah, absolutely, you have to call a timeout.
Let's go to Craig.
Initial indication from Anthony Bowie was that he could not put any weight on his foot, but Lenny Curry, the trainer, is over here talking with him, and after taking the shoe off, they have ice on his foot, and he's smiling. He's feeling a lot better about the injury right now. At first, they're worried that possibly it was broken, but that does not appear to be the case.
Nick Anderson replaces him in the lineup, so the 5 who started the game for the Magic are in there right now. And the same can be said for the Indiana Pacers with 5:31 remaining and 5 on the shot clock. Shaquille O'Neal has it swatted away by Dale Davis. Interestingly enough, that's been one of the big problems for the Indiana Pacers. Not enough of shot blockers inside.
They certainly get one here. O'Neal splits the double team, goes up, but was it offensive goaltending?
No. Second block by Dale Davis. Hardaway with 1 second on the shot clock. So twice Orlando either didn't get it off in the 24 seconds or barely. Miller still struggling big time, has only 4 points, one of them a layup.
Now his confidence is eroding because he's really hesitating on the shot.
Hardaway emphatically slams it through, and the Pacers with a porous defense down the middle, down the lane.
Transition because they're not making any shots, and they're in danger right here. They've got to find a way to get some scoring.
Miller looking for McKee, the double team on him. Derek McKee with a nifty play despite the double team. Now has 11 points. He leads the Pacers.
This is the most impressive defense I've seen Orlando play on the road. Both transition defense, individual defense.
Shaq in the middle. And the rebound by Reggie Miller. A 7-point lead by the Magic, 38-31 with 4.5 to play in the second quarter. Derek McKee working his way in. I'll tell you, McKee is doing everything he can do to give the Pacers some offense. He scored 13, 2 more than his season's average.
That's where they were going to go. That's where they feel they have a mismatch with Scott. They don't think Scott can play him, and they're right so far.
Double team on Hardaway. Batted up in the air by McKee. Here's Mark Jackson. Pulls up.
He's been short on every single shot at 15 feet.
0 for 5 tonight for Mark Jackson. Interesting, though, whenever Hardaway has it at the top, they double team him. They're not going to let him dribble his way and do what he wants inside. O'Neal totally handcuffed as he goes up for the shot. And we'll go to the line.
Get her to put him on the free throw line rather than let him get the ball up to the basket. Terrific interior passing. Hardaway down. Horseback bounce pass. Goes up, and he gets wrestled to the ground. And that's the reason why they don't want field goals. They want him to earn them at the free throw line.
Foul committed by Derek McKee, his first. Shaquille O'Neal is 3 for 5 from the line. And 4 for 6. That's not all that bad for Shaq. who's a 46% shooter from the stripe. 6-point lead Orlando. Mark Jackson with a reverse layup. Beat everyone off the dribble, and it's a 4-point game. Orlando leading. Behind the back pass, and Hardaway saves a backcourt violation.
By about an inch.
If that much. Anderson for 3. Reggie Miller the rebound. He's got McKee down court. Follows it in. Derek McKee now, and Indiana has come within 2 points. So the Orlando Magic, McKee has 15 points on an 8-1 Indiana run. And this game going back and forth. Streaks for both teams. Crowd very much in it. And a foul is illegal defense called against the Indiana Pacers, and that will result in a technical foul. And Dennis Scott will go to the line.
Larry Brown very facetiously today said to us, I don't understand the rules.
Yeah, and
That means he's going to fight the rules.
And if there's ever a guy who knows the rules, it's that man.
Long lead pass. Miller finds McKee. McKee takes his time, gets people up in the air, scores it.
Scott made the technical foul. Anderson working his way in. Shinsis bats it away. Scott for 3. Shot keeps it going. And Anderson is fouled. Nick Anderson fouled going to the hoop. Dwayne Shinsis has really done a terrific job for the Pacers, despite picking up his second foul without the 7'4" Rick Smits. And now another member of the big man brigade from the bench coming in, Adrian Caldwell, coming in as Anderson hits the first free throw. Caldwell will replace Shinsis. I want to remind you that coming up on the Reebok halftime report, Vince Cellini and Dick Versace, joined by our special guest Dennis Rodman. That'll be worth standing by for. That's coming up on the Reebok halftime report. You coached Dennis?
Yeah, coached Dennis a few years. And
what about for tonight's halftime?
No, I did not coach him. Watch out.
I hope they have a 7-second delay like they do on the talk show.
That'll keep the audience enthralled and keep them in place.
And a foul away from the ball. No, it's an illegal defense. Pardon me, and that is the first called against the Magic. So Adrian Caldwell, 29-year-old former backup with the Rockets. That was back in '89 to '91. Getting some playing time tonight. Trying to get as many big bodies in there with Smits out of there. Nearly 2 minutes to go, and Anthony Hardaway with a steal. That's his third steal of the game. And Anderson misses. McKee the rebound, and it's last touched by Nick Anderson.
I tell you what, the Indiana Pacers really made strides when they added the Davis duel and, of course, McKee, because it gives them rebounding. Rebounding helps your defense become better, and it can keep you engaged when you're not scoring.
You know, Chuck, that's why a lot of people thought Indiana would be the best challengers to the Chicago Bulls, because of their ability to play physical basketball, as well as being able to hit from the perimeter.
And right now they're out rebounding the Magic 25-22. They're a very strong rebounding club.
Up to date on the scores. We'll have all the scores and highlights coming up at halftime. Foul is on O'Neal. There is Caldwell, who played most of his pro career in Turkey after being with the CBA briefly.
Well, what Larry's trying to do is get out of this half with 1:45 to go without being in deep foul trouble, so they'll be able to do something in the second half and try to control Shaquille O'Neal.
Hey, how about the New Jersey Nets?
Making major strides. They've traded big stars, and they've got that club really playing together and happy among themselves. I hear really good things about it.
And Sean Bradley finally being used, right?
Yes, coming along, getting post-up position, and seems to be happy in his role with the Nets.
41-39 with 1:40 remaining in the first half. It's been nip and tuck all the way in a game of streaks by both teams. Here is Dennis Scott hitting another three. That's his 5th of the game from downtown. Scott has 18. Shaquille O'Neal 10 to lead Orlando. Derek McKee with 15 for Indiana. Mark Jackson Looking inside, getting a screen from Dale Davis on the pick and roll to the hoop, and Davis can't convert. Shaq with another rebound. He's got 8. Miller not letting Scott get off the easy three-point shot.
Miller trying to pressure him. They force Shaquille outside.
And another illegal defense. That's the 3rd of the game called against the Pacers. And another technical. Larry Brown does not have a smile at this point.
Here's Shaq trying to get the post up. Working. Caldwell fronting him, forces him outside. But the real reason was Reggie Miller's defense out there not letting the easy pass get to the post.
Dennis Scott with the technical, and it's a 45-39 game with Scott with 19 points. Shaquille. Now O'Neal over Caldwell, and Shaquille O'Neal now with 12. Scott, by the way, who scored 20 points last night against the 76ers, has 19 already. 16 on the shot clock. You look at the game clock here in the first half. Miller wide open in the baseline. He can't buy anything from outside. 2 for 11, and one of them was a layup.
Scorers find a way to score. Before the night's over, he'll get baskets.
I believe you're right. There's the shot clock and the game clock, and a 47-39 lead, an 8-point lead, biggest lead for the Magic, 9 in this second quarter. And Hardaway has it deflected by Reggie Miller out of bounds, and Indiana will have 4.6 seconds to get the last points of this half. And Travis Best will come in along with Ricky Pierce, so they've got a quick point guard and a 3-point shooter coming in.
Basically going with 3 guards because they want to penetrate and make sure they get a shot out of it. They'll force a change in the lineup for the Orlando Magic.
And Ryan Shaw will come in. O'Neal goes out, so it's a small team as Grant is in there with Hardaway, Anderson, Scott, and Shaw. Travis Best into the corner. Here's Pierce for 3. He's got it, and it counts. Ricky Pierce, who is the best 6th man in the NBA twice in his 14-year career, makes the first 3-point basket for the Indiana Pacers after they missed their first 8.
Here's Travis Best, make the penetration wide open. That's all they want, is to get a good shot out of it with 4+ seconds to go.
So it ends up on a high note for the Pacers, and after 1/2 of play here at Market Square Arena, the Magic lead the Pacers 47-42. And welcome back to Market Square Arena in Indianapolis, where the Orlando Magic in front of the Indiana Pacers 47-42 at the half. And Chuck, this is the best we've seen Orlando play on the road against a good team this year, but Indiana very much in the game despite the fact that they're missing Rick Smith and several players on the bench.
Yeah, they've gotten to the line, the Orlando Magic have 10 more times and scored 6 more, and that's basically the difference in the game. They have to do something about Dennis Scott. Got to stay home on him when he's making threes like he has the last several nights.
All right, looking at the shooting percentage, virtually even at 40 and 39, and there you see the 6 3-pointers, 5 of them from Dennis Scott, as you point out. Indiana only 1 for 9 from downtown. And right now, let's check in with Craig Sager with Larry Brown.
Well, thanks, Dick. Coach with us right now. Obviously, a defensive battle. Where do you look for offensive production here in the second half?
Well, we got 49 shots. That's a miracle. You know, we haven't been getting a lot of shots, and you know, I think maybe we settled for a few too many outside jumpers with Rick out of the game. But we got to find a way to get to the free throw line. If we do that, we'll be fine. I'm thrilled we're only 5 down. You know, when you shoot as poorly as we did, I'm thrilled. We've given ourselves a chance. You know, Reggie's not going to go 2 for 11, and Mark's not going to go 1 for 6. And if we can keep Derek, you know, offensive-minded like that, we'll be all right.
All right, thanks a lot. Let's go back to Dick Stockton and Chuck Daly.
All right, Craig, thank you very much. And there's Dennis Scott with 19 points. That's more than a season's average. Reggie Miller with only 4 points on 2 for 11 shooting.
He struggled with the shots, missed a couple around the basket, layup type shot. He doesn't look confident, looks hesitant, but we've said it before, we'll say it again many times. Scorers find a way to score. Larry Brown said at half, he's not going to go 2 for 11 all night.
You're looking at the leading scorers for both teams. Keep in mind, while Reggie Miller is struggling, Penny Hardaway has only 4 points, and Horace Grant has yet to score. So Orlando also has a couple of big heavyweights who are not doing much offensively. Dale Davis on the turnaround from Miller, and that's his first points of the game. He came in averaging over 10 a game.
That's a way to make something happen offensively. Go to McKee, go to Davis inside. The difference is the Magic are not doubling, which means there are no outside shots, and then you end up with a short clock. Got to take the shot.
O'Neal over Shinsis, and a loose ball foul. Shinsis coming off the injured list after knee surgery and doing a tremendous job. The personal foul is on Davis, but Shinsis doing more than holding his own against Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah, he's gained some confidence and doing a decent job. Shake his head there saying he thinks the foul was on him, I guess, or wasn't a foul at all, one of the two.
Penny Hardaway posting up against the smaller Mark Jackson, lays it in. So when that's there, you know they'll go to Penny, and Hardaway with only his 6th point of the game, coming in averaging nearly 23. Derek McKee was the offensive force in the first half for the Pacers. Shinsis working in against Shaq. Goes up and is fouled, and he got Shaq with his 2nd personal foul.
32, Shaquille O'Neal, second.
Watch Penny Hardaway on the post up, starts to back in, going left. It's in. Look at the traffic there. 4 guys coming, but he's so good at finding the seam and using the glass.
Dwayne Shinsis misses the free throw. Not only is Rick Smits unable to play because of that flu, but Dwayne Farrell with a strained calf that occurred in practice on the injured list. And Eddie Johnson, the other veteran who came in along with Ricky Pierce when the season started, he has a sore back. So 1 free throw for Shinsis, and it's a 4-point Orlando lead. Double team with Miller and Shinsis surrounding O'Neal. 7 on the shot clock. Nick Anderson. Tipped by Jackson. Hardaway with 1 second on the clock. His 2nd basket here in the second half.
So important that you have a point guard, a guy that handles the ball, that can deliver with 1, 2, 3 seconds at the end of the shot clock. Hardaway is one of those guys who can go get you a shot.
51-45, the Magic lead the Pacers. They go in low inside to Dale Davis. McKee working against Grant on the pick and roll, and a foul against the Orlando Magic, and that will be the 2nd on Penny Hardaway.
Take a look. Penetration. 1 second, gets it up. That's what is so important, as I said earlier, for a point guard to be able to do.
Jackson looking in for Dale Davis, tipped away by Scott. It's still Indiana ball. 2 minutes have gone by here in the second half.
They were going to McKee. They switched the matchups. Grant is now playing McKee, and Davis is being played by
It looked like Nick Anderson.
No, they wanted to switch the Scott matchups, what they wanted to switch.
Shinsis with the basket and draws the foul, and that'll be against Horace Grant, his 2nd.
Penetration, bounce pass, nice move by Dwayne Shinsis, and draws the foul. Sets the pick, rolls properly, gets a hand up, nice bounce pass, fade away, good touch. Except on the free throw line.
He's missed 2 out of 3 and those opportunities here in the 3rd quarter. The lead is 4 for the Orlando Magic, coming in with a record of 38-14, 6 games ahead of the Knicks in the Atlantic Division. Hardaway is hit on the arm.
Jackson had done such a good job with them. They're going to keep working that matchup. They think Hardaway can jump over or go around Mark Jackson. In that instance, he did a good job. They end up a little foul on the arm, puts Hardaway on the line. 2
on Jackson. So Anthony Hardaway, they saw him with only 4 points at the half. They got to go to one of their 2 meal tickets. He had 30 points in Orlando's win against Indiana back in November. Now let's take a look at the GMC scoreboard. Miami and Philadelphia nip and tuck. Detroit leading New York 91-83 in the 3rd quarter. Minnesota over Houston in a surprise, and Milwaukee has taken the lead over New Jersey. Dallas winning, and Phoenix and Boston just underway in Phoenix. And for all the scores and highlights, tune to CNN Sports Tonight with Nancy Newman and Bob Lorenz at 11 o'clock Eastern. Dwayne Shinsis coming off with a season's high 11, coming off the injured list. He went on December the 14th, and he has 11 points. One of only 2 in double figures for Indiana tonight. Hardaway going strong to the hoop and lays it in. Penny with 7.
Changed the shot in the
11
air, and Davis and McKee are keeping the ball alive, and they're allowing Shinsis to get open in the lane for some pretty easy shots.
Here's Shinsis low against O'Neal, who has picked up 2 fouls in the game. Shinsis with a one-hander again. Secret weapon for Larry Brown tonight, with Rick Smits out with the flu, is Dwayne Shinsis in his 6th year from the Florida Gators.
He's being very aggressive. Rarely does he go one-on-one, and particularly against a guy like O'Neal. He's 6 for 9 from the field, which is a real shocker, but that happens in games like this. When you're shorthanded, people step up.
6 for 9, as you mentioned, for Dwayne Shinsis, giving the Pacers a big shot in the arm tonight. 54-51, the Magic in front. 2-man game, Anderson going back into Shaq. Big jump hook in the lane for Shaquille O'Neal. He has 14 points.
They're going to be able to get either. He's going to get a shot if they don't double, or they're going to be wide open. Here's Shinsis all alone.
All alone now is Derek McKee, passed up the outside shot. And now misses from outside, batted out by Shinsis. Jackson, Shinsis open, hits again. And a career high of 16, and Shinsis is 1 short of that with 15. And a foul as O'Neal, going to the hoop, is fouled and will go to the line.
Here's a career night for Dwayne Shinsis. Faking here. He's decided to be aggressive. Works in, left shoulder, fakes up and under, fades away, kind of a jump hook, and scores it.
O'Neal misses the free throw, and Shinsis, who's picked up his 3rd foul, will come out of the game, replaced by Antonio Davis, and a big hand for Dwayne Shinsis. Shinsis has the last 9 Indiana points. O'Neal missed both free throws.
Larry Brown just went down and said, if you could do this every night, imagine how good we can be.
That's exactly right. The lead is 3. Miller working against Nick Anderson. Fires it up, and it goes, and it's a 1-point game. Orlando in front.
And boy, did he work for that basket. Penetrated and got a great whirl and wanted a foul.
56-55, the Magic lead, and an alley-oop off the hands of Nick Anderson. Indiana can take the lead. They were down by as many as 9, and Miller misses from 3-point range. Saved by Antonio Davis. Miller fires again. He's got it, and Indiana leads.
Gotta love it. Shooters keep shooting. Nothing bothers them.
You said it. Indiana on a 6-0 run, leads it 57-56.
What was Reggie Miller prior to this, shooting-wise? What was Miller prior?
2 for 11 at the half. So
2 for 11 and a half. What was he prior to this shot? You know? No. What is he? He's getting a point. Okay.
Don't worry about it. 12.
Here's Reggie Miller. He's going to fake 1-on-1. Fakes right with his right foot. Steps back. Works hard. Goes left. Gets in the lane. Goes into traffic. Gets it up. Gets a very nice roll in Market Arena. And here he is again. That time, banged him. Fade away. Gets a fadeaway jumper. He has struggled for basket.
Reggie Miller, 2 for 11 at the half. And since the All-Star break, he has been on a tear, averaging 29 points a game, shooting 58% from downtown. Reggie Miller, despite the sprained ankle suffered against the Bulls, he also had the ankle problem before that, one of the most durable you'll find. And Miller now in the ball game with 8 points. And Orlando finding themselves on the short end now by a point. And Dennis Scott quickly puts them up by 2 with another from almost from downtown. That's a 2-point shot. He's got 21 in the game.
Set play. O'Neal comes off the pick by Scott. Scott steps back because they've got to help on Shaquille.
There's Mark Jackson with 8 on the shot clock, looking inside. And a 3-second violation called against the Pacers.
And Reggie Miller, very vociferous.
He was also pretty loud about it too, Chuck. Yeah, when you think about it.
Now Terry Durham smiling about it.
Penny Hardaway working against Jackson. He'd like to get him to the low post for sure. Double team on Shaq. Shaq with 16 now. Leading scorer Scott with 21. Hardaway has 11. Those are the 3 in double figures for the Magic. Mark Jackson feeding inside Dale Davis. McKee. A quiet night for Horace Grant. McKee throws up a shot and misses. Not the best offensive sequence tonight for Indiana.
This is where the Indiana Pacers got in trouble all night when they've had to force up that outside shot rather than getting the post up and working out of it.
Scott for 3. Rebound Dale Davis as he boxed out, got position on Shaq. 9 rebounds for Dale Davis, who had 9 in a losing effort against the Bulls on Sunday.
Jackson getting a lot of handles and positions out here, but not taking much advantage offensively.
Reggie Miller isolated, shooting over Nick Anderson.
He's getting it going now, and they're going to have to work harder on him.
And it's a 2-point game. Magic leading 60, make it a 1-point game, 60 to 59. Knocked away, and a fine play by Antonio Davis. Here's Reggie Miller, lays it in.
And a good aggressive defense by the Pacers overplaying the post area, making it difficult to get the ball to the post.
Reggie Miller 4 for 5 here in the third quarter after being ice cold from the field in the first half. In low to Horace Grant. Grant has yet to score tonight. Came in averaging over 12. Shaquille O'Neal. And that gives the Magic a 1-point lead and a seesaw third quarter, 62 to 61 with 4:20 to play. Third meeting between the teams. They split the first 2. They'll have 1 more to play after this one. Antonio Davis stops, pulls up, and it'll drop for him. Antonio Davis now with 8. 14 lead changes in this game. And Indiana regains them by 1. Scott for 3. Yes.
How can you not find him in transition?
Scott now with 6 from downtown. Derek McKee is fouled by O'Neal. And it was the elbow by Shaq. And that will send Derek McKee to the free throw line. That's the 3rd foul on Shaquille O'Neal.
This is an aggressive foul. McKee tried to push off because he saw it coming, but he got hammered.
Derek McKee, a 77% free throw shooter. He was the only starter to play at Orlando in the first meeting between the teams, with others suspended out with injury. And Adrian Caldwell, the 6'9" big man who finished his college career at Lamar. So he traveled around in his college years as well as his pro years, replacing Dale Davis, who's out. Davis has scored only 2 tonight.
They want to maintain their situation in terms of free throws and fouls. They're getting to the line a lot better, but foul-wise, they want to stay out of deep trouble.
Magic by 1. They go to Scott, Grant. Good rotation by Indiana defensively, but Nick Anderson hits the 3 from the top. Anderson now. So there are 8 3-point shots tonight that have gone through for the Magic, 6 of them by Dennis Scott. Miller leaves it for Antonio Davis, and a blocking foul called against Orlando. That'll be the 5th foul against the Magic, and that'll put him in the penalty.
Don't you love the aggressive defensive play? They talk about no defense in the NBA. How about this? They are aggressive. Here's the play. He's made up his mind. He's got his head down. He's going to go there. They say, Scott didn't get there. You got the foul. He says, me? How can it be?
It is, and his second personal foul. And Chuck, we're seeing playoff brand basketball tonight between these two teams.
These two teams have met the previous 2 years in the playoffs. They know what could be down the road, and it's a big game for the Pacers because Orlando is a team they have to beat to get where they want to go, and vice versa.
2 years ago, Indiana swept them in 3 in the first round. Last year, as you know, the Magic prevailed in 7 games. Travis Best checks in for the Pacers. So Best, the point guard, as Antonio Davis hits both free throws, and the lead is 2 for the Magic.
Best trying to put a little down-court pressure on Hardaway and say, make him handle it, make him turn his back, don't make it so easy to get the post up.
Hardaway to Scott for 3 again. Rebound, Horace Grant plucks it out of midair. Scott goes baseline. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Hardaway runs into Caldwell, and the foul against Adrian Caldwell, his first, but a good point by Larry Brown. He says everyone feels that the big people like Scottie Pippen and Anthony Hardaway could just sail in. You can't defend them, but he says you got to challenge them a bit.
Yeah, he feels you have to pressure them down court to make them handle. He said, as good as they are, may not be the case.
So a timeout, 2:48 to go in the third, a 2-point game. Couple of babes who are enthralled with the game tonight. Probably
one not so enthralled.
One is asleep and the other one is just very content right now. I want to remind you that the NBA continues Friday at 8 Eastern on TNT as the Los Angeles Lakers take on Jason Kidd and the Dallas Mavericks. That's this Friday at 8 Eastern on TNT.
Improvement by the Pacers offensively, 10 for 14 for 71%. Miller's picked up 8 points, and of course the Pacers have been to the line 7 times, and that's what Larry Brown talked about. Let's get to the line. It'll help us win this game.
John Koncak is in there, so it's Koncak, Horace Grant, Dennis Scott, Brian Shaw, and Penny Hardaway at the line as Shaq goes out, having scored 18 points. For the Pacers, Adrian Caldwell, Antonio Davis, Derek McKee, Reggie Miller, and Travis Best. It falls for Penny. Hardaway, a 77% shooter from the line. Now has 13 in the game. The lead is 4 for the Magic with 2:45 remaining in the third quarter. Orlando led by 5 at the half and 1 after 1 quarter. McKee looking inside to Caldwell, and Caldwell is fouled as Shaw got a late double team from Koncak.
When they miss their first option, the ball comes back out. That's where they're struggling because the Magic are picking up defensively. They bailed them out that time by fouling them, but they were in position to not give them a very good shot.
Caldwell is a 47% free throw shooter as it clanks off the glass and the rim. Indiana Pacers began the 1996 year winning 14 out of 16, including 7 in a row, but since then they've lost 5 out of 8. They had won 17 straight here at the Market Square Arena, where they were nigh unbeatable, but they've lost 2 in a row at home and are locked in a big fight tonight with the Magic. It's 70-67 Orlando. Magic went over and back, and another turnover against Orlando. They're 11th.
They like that down court pressure. Here's Best working, but here's a run and jump, forcing him to step back over the line. And Larry Brown talked about it today. Both Shaw and Hardaway were going to pressure him down court, particularly with Best.
There's the turnover story. Travis Best forced him into it. Reggie Miller for 3. So after an ice-cold first half, Miller now with 15 points. 11 coming here in the third quarter to tie the game at 70. In low to Hardaway, and he lost it out of bounds. So that's turnover number 12, and Hardaway is really upset with himself.
He was wide open. He made a great cut off the screen on the baseline. He just took his eye off of it, lost control of the ball, but he knew he was in position to score easily.
Under 2 minutes to go in the third quarter, and the Pacers can regain the lead. They were down by 5 at the half, and Miller fouled going to the hoop. Pacers, the Magic over the limit, and Miller will shoot 2. Foul is on Ryan Shaw. That's his 4th, and the first player in the game with 4 personal.
He made a great effort there coming off of that screen, and he turned the corner and split it and got fouled on it. He's becoming so much more aggressive. He was kind of settling early for jump shots, and he was a little unsure of himself, but now that he's got aggressive, his jump shot also will go.
Ricky Pierce replaces Derek McKee, who goes out with 16. And Miller hits them both to give the Pacers a 72-70 lead. Best pressuring Shaw. Inside to Hardaway. And a foul. Caldwell and Antonio Davis with the contact, and the foul will be against Caldwell, his 2nd, and that's the 15th foul. So down both teams in the penalty.
They've run this play twice in a row. Penny comes off the screen, comes wide open. Reggie Miller tries to go out front. That makes it easy for Hardaway to get to the basket. Doesn't score it, but draws the foul. But they are not handling that baseline screen very well, and Reggie Miller is going to get a little rest here at the end of the third quarter.
17 points for Miller. Miami beat Philadelphia 66-57. Incredibly low score. And Charlotte beat Washington's Bullets 96-92. Charlotte has won 4 in a row. We saw their win over the Knicks convincingly last Wednesday. Best throws it away. And a turnover will give it back to the Magic. 72-72 with 1:15 to go in the third.
Good idea by Best, but they expected to shoot him, turned their back, and of course then it became a turnover.
Hey, they don't have anyone that quick at point guard. He's something new for them.
There they played that pick and roll with Dennis Scott properly because they switched it.
4 on the shot clock, and Shaw tried to get it to John Contact, threw it a little too hard, it appeared.
Dennis Scott's not a big post-up player, so when they set the screen with Scott, all they have to do is switch because basically he wants a perimeter. They got caught once on it, but almost did there, but got away with it because they made the proper switch.
43 seconds to go in the third quarter. Haywood Workman with a 2-point shot, and it goes. Workman gives the Pacers the lead again by 2 points. 20 on the shot clock. Differential about 12 seconds. Grant to Hardaway for 3, and now the Indiana Pacers have come within 1, 75-74. No, the Magic lead by 1, 75-74, excuse me. And playing for the last shot of the quarter, Hardaway has 14 here in the third, Miller 13. They were both scoreless or virtually scoreless in the first half.
Prior to the half, we saw the same set. Best went left, kicked the ball, forced them to switch out on him, and Ricky Pierce got a wide open shot.
Best has Workman in his last shot. 1 second on the clock. It's knocked away by Grant, and that'll do it. The shot clock expired. Now they say 0.3. Well, they're going to put 5/10 back on the clock, so 0.8 of a second. There was a 24-second violation. Magic lead by 1. And Travis Best tied up Horace Grant. And that is the end of the third quarter. Well, Anthony Hardaway came alive, but so did Reggie Miller, who had 17 points after getting only 4. 13 of them coming in the third quarter. And so after 3, tight game, the Magic lead the Pacers by a score of 75-74. Welcome back to Market Square Arena in Indianapolis. As we start the fourth quarter, Orlando leading Indiana 75-74, and despite Indiana getting the scoring edge in the third quarter, the Magic have led in each of the first 3 quarters. Charles?
Three-point field goal for 9 for 20 for Orlando, 2 for Denver, Indiana. Both teams shooting 48%, plus 4 free throws for the Orlando Magic, and they're being the Orlando 27-31 rebounds, being out-rebounded by Indiana by 4.
Leading scores, Hardaway has 18, as does O'Neal, but Dennis Scott has 24 to lead the Magic. Reggie Miller with 17 leads 4 in double figures for the Pacers, and it's Brian Shaw, Joe Wolf, Shaquille O'Neal, Nick Anderson, and Anthony Bowie starting this fourth quarter for the Magic. Here's Shaq working against Caldwell, and misses. Caldwell crashing the boards, and a loose ball foul called against Orlando, and it'll be Joe Wolf with his 3rd foul, starting for Indiana. Antonio Davis, Mark Jackson, Adrian Caldwell, Ricky Pierce, and Haywood Workman. Derek McKee will replace Workman. So they're going to get bigger now. Or actually, Caldwell will go to the bench. McKee with 16 for the run of the offense in the first half for Indiana. Here's Ricky Pierce, swatted away by Shaq.
Here's that great post-up position, but Shaquille comes off the ball, gets the block.
Nick Anderson posting up. Pretty move by Anderson. Backing in and then spinning in the lane. 8 points tonight for Nick Anderson. Pierce quickly to the baseline, lays it in. Ricky Pierce, who missed 55 games playing with Golden State last year.
And all of a sudden, Indiana without Best in the game. Jackson can't apply the same kind of down-court pressure, so they're getting into their sets a lot easier.
Remember, Miller on the bench right now getting a rest, but he'll be coming in soon. Shaq working in against the double team. Deflected. Bowie with a short jumper. McKee with a rebound. That's his 7th.
The Indiana Pacers are an impressive rebounding club.
Antonio Davis draws the foul and will go to the line. How intimidating a presence in the middle is Shaq.
He thought he was clean. Ricky Pierce almost took it right out of his hands coming off the ball. You'll have a hard time getting one up if he's off the ball.
Foul is on Wolf, his 4th, and Antonio Davis 68% from the line. Makes the first. He's been a spark coming off the bench, but earlier this year he slumped, and his wife said to him, "You are playing like a girl." Now, if we said that, we get in trouble, but it's okay for Antonio Davis's wife to say that to him, I guess.
He had heard it from other people, but when his wife said it, he got the message.
And ever since then, he has played like, well, I don't know, played like Antonio Davis. Let's leave it at that. Tied at 77 with 10.5 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter. Here's Shaq again over Davis. McKee the rebound. Pacers trying to take the lead again. Indiana's biggest lead was 8. Orlando had a 9-point lead in the second quarter, and they take the lead. Mark Jackson
on kind of a driving wild toss. He's not been aggressive offensively, wanted to get to the basket, kind of got the glass, got a little bit lucky on the shot.
A little funky move too after he scored the basket. Shaq tied up in a foul. Ricky Pierce with the foul.
First on the Pacers.
Here's Jackson taking it to the hole. Shaq almost gets it, being 3rd man away.
And there's the little dance. Not in the work class of Dion, but not bad.
But hasn't had many opportunities to do it tonight.
Anderson missed the 3, and Wolf, with his 3rd foul in a hurry, now has 5 as he pushed off trying to get the rebound. And a technical foul has been tacked on against Joe Wolf to make matters worse. 5 fouls in 6 minutes tonight for Joe Wolf, and a technical as well.
Well, the officials decided a little bit too much crabbing about officiating. Get it under control.
Ricky Pierce, 82% free throw shooter. He's terrific from the line. Makes the tee.
Let's see who's right here. Is he pushing? Oh, good call. Eddie Middleton or whomever. Terry Durham.
Ricky Pierce with 10 points, and Brian Hill is steaming on the Orlando bench. 80-77, the Pacers by 3. Here's Workman. He missed from downtown, and Nick Anderson. Shaw has Bowie. Anthony Bowie going low, tipped away by Antonio Davis, out of bounds. Last touch by Orlando, and the Pacers regain possession. And Reggie Miller standing up, leading the cheers for the Indiana Pacers. So Indiana has taken a 3-point lead with Reggie Miller on the bench and a timeout with 9:16 to go. That was the call, and Terry Durham right on top of it. Now it's time for tonight's Dutch boy in the paint. Here's a story. Shaq with 18 and 9 boards, but Dwayne Shinsis coming off the injured list, playing in place of the injured or the ill. Rick Smits has 15 and 6 rebounds. A career high of 15 points, and they had to start working on those balloons early in the day.
It'll be interesting to see if Larry Brown goes back to Shinsis or if he stays with the Davis duel along with McKee to finish this game.
Pacers have outscored the Magic 8-5 since Reggie went out. Reggie Miller 4 minutes ago. Double team on McKee. 9 on the shot clock. Lost out of bounds, but they say it's last touched by Anthony Bowie, so it is still Indiana ball, and they have 7 seconds to attempt a shot.
And the entire Orlando Magic bench wanted to make that call.
Pacers have done a great job tonight of protecting the basketball. They've turned it over only 7 times, and the Pacers will call a 20-second timeout.
Let's see if we can pick up on the out-of-bounds call. At least from that angle, it looks like it went off Indiana, but, well,
Brian Hill was upset with that, and so that's 2 tough calls on out of bounds going against Orlando. And we want to remind you that the improved Detroit Pistons travel to the Sonics. They're really improved. They have the 2nd best record in the NBA after the Bulls, and we'll be out there in Seattle next week. Chuck, Pistons and Sonics, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Big test for the Detroit Pistons because the Supersonics at home are dynamite.
Ooh. Pacers will inbound. Workman to McKee, and Derek McKee now with 18 points becomes the high scorer for the Pacers, who are up by 5. That's Indiana's biggest lead since the first quarter tonight. Anthony Hardaway knifes his way in to get a bucket. Hardaway now with 20.
And he hurt his left foot on the play. He's limping back.
Mark Jackson penetrates for the basket.
And Jackson takes advantage of it, goes right back to the basket.
You're right, Chuck, and Hardaway needs a blow, and he's going to keep going, and the Magic did not call timeout. So Hardaway limping is still on the floor. And finally, a foul is admitted by Haywood Workman. No illegal defense has been called. So Hardaway gets a break because of the illegal defense call. And with 20 points and 8 assists, will go to the bench.
Here's Hardaway lofting it up. Hard to tell. He must have stepped on a foot after he came down. But if you remember, earlier in the game, he did hurt his foot. Don't know if it was the same one. And we just had an illegal defense because they're trying to come from behind and double team.
We've had 4 violations of the illegal defense, the 3rd resulting in a technical against the Pacers. So Brian Shaw is in there with Anderson and Bowie, O'Neal and Grant. Grant, by the way, has not scored tonight. Anderson posting up against the veteran Ricky Pierce. Trying to go into Shaq, he does, and he lays it in. Mark Jackson on the switch had to guard Shaquille O'Neal.
What a great option, just lob it up in the middle of the lane and see if the big guy can grab it.
Pacers by 2, under 8 minutes to go in the 4th. Ricky Pierce Antonio Davis throws it away. Mark Jackson can't save it. And a timeout was called. Jackson called a timeout before the violation. An alert move by Jackson. That was a tremendous play, and Ed Middleton was right on top of it to see Jackson call the timeout.
Got to the ball, gets up in the air and calls it.
He did.
But landed out of bounds.
Penny Hardaway was shaken up. Let's check in with Craig Sager.
Well, what happened was the big toe on his left foot has been bothering him off and on. He stubbed it earlier in the game, came back to play after sitting down. It got kind of tight, went back in and hurt it again. He came out and just told coach, though, he's ready to go back in. So hopefully it's just a minor injury that occurs every once in a while when he stubs it.
All right, Craig, and he's back in there, as is Reggie Miller. So Miller got a long rest in the 7:38 to go. And Pacers are going to need Miller. Hardaway trying to post up Jackson. Horace Grant misses, and Hardaway tried to stuff it in. Bowie saved it, and it is still Orlando's ball.
What basically the Pacers are doing are going to a three-guard offense using Pierce as a small forward to get more offense. We'll have to take a look at the matchups.
Bowie goes out of the game, replaced by Dennis Scott, who has 6 from downtown tonight. Scott will inbound. Shaq against Antonio Davis, and Shaquille O'Neal now with 22 in the game. It's an 84-84 tie with 7:15 to go in the fourth quarter. Miller back with Pierce, Jackson, Antonio Davis, and Derek McKee. And Antonio Davis banks it in. The Pacers shot 40% in the first half, but Larry Brown has had his hopes fulfilled in the second half, as the Pacers, according to our statistician Marty Aronoff, shooting 70% from the field. Shaq out to Hardaway. Good pass to Scott for 3. Loose ball. And the Magic maintain it as Pierce hit the deck.
The problem with giving up that second shot, it could end up in a three-point basket.
Scott gets rid of it. Hardaway will fire a 3. I'll tell you, this intensity tonight is as good as we've seen all year.
It really is, and the work around the backboard and in the lane, you've got to be a man tonight to play in this game, because both teams are going after it.
And Ricky Pierce going after it at the hoop is hit with a hard foul, and Shaquille O'Neal with 4 personal fouls and 6:21 remaining. 4 on Shaq. And Ricky Pierce will go to the line. 82% from the line. He's been the top scorer off the bench twice in the last week, and tonight has 10. Major acquisitions for Larry Brown as he brings in Wayne Shinsis, as well as Dale Davis, and a hand for Antonio Davis. Tell you, he's gotten a lot of mileage out of those backup centers tonight.
He really has, and he's using power forwards at center, and he's resting and rotating people to go down the stretch with his best people. There's still 6 minutes to go in this game, which is a long time, and you don't say, well, I'm going to ride a guy out.
Very hard to get an edge on Larry Brown, isn't it? Coach?
He's a brilliant coach. No question. He's done a great job everywhere he's been at every level.
And he's been in a lot of levels. 88-84 the score. Shaq tries to feed Horace Grant. Picked off. Numbers for the Pacers. Shinsis inside. Gets it with a left-handed shot. Shinsis with a career-high 17. Timeout, Indiana. Or timeout, Orlando.
Just kind of threw it up there, kind of got fumbled, but he makes the left. Good hands.
What a find off the injured list tonight is Dwayne Shinsis.
Huge fast break situation. Comes up with the interception right here. Ricky Pierce nails it. He got Miller on the right wing. He gets Mark Jackson on the left. He thought he would give it to Jackson, circle outside, kept the ball. Jackson kept it. Now they got jammed up the middle. Shins comes down and makes a heck of a play with a catch on a left-handed shot, but leaves the game for whatever reason. Might have hurt his foot. I'm not sure.
Well, let's check in with Craig right now.
Although Dwayne Shins has been with 4 teams in 6 years, this is his 3rd stint with Larry Brown at Kansas. While he was at Florida, he played in the World Junior team coached by Brown. He was drafted in the 1st round by San Antonio, drafted by Brown. And when he was without a job this summer, he was again picked up by Brown. He has a career-high 17 points.
So, in other words, Craig, Larry Brown likes Dwayne Chinsis. I would draw that conclusion. Try to save it, and Hardaway does a great job. 2 on the shot clock. Nick Anderson with 3. And a big 3-point hoop after the Pacers took a 6-point lead. That's been shaved in half. It's 90-87 with 5.5 to play. Reggie Miller working the ball, and McKee won't take the outside shot. Guarded by Horace Grant, and a foul over the top. Penny Hardaway came in.
This one is for you. Larry Brown just looked over and he said earlier today, he said, I'm going to put Reggie Miller in the pick and roll, and he did a pretty good job.
Derek McKee on the free throw line. McKee has 18 points and 8 rebounds. Well, Larry told you today, he says Reggie may not be the best dribbler there is at the point, and it's great that in the heat of the action he can make that move and put Reggie out to the point to show Coach Daly something.
Yeah, they had to come and play him. He got the ball to McKee. McKee's wide open, decides not to shoot it, but takes it to the basket for the free throws.
5-point lead with 5:12 remaining. Hardaway posting up against Jackson, double team with Miller. They got to hurry up and cover Scott, and illegal. It is a foul.
Here's Reggie. Here comes the pick and roll. He takes him to the right side. He's a little worried about his dribbling, but here he comes back. Doesn't even need the screen, but finally gets rid of it. He got more than 2 dribbles.
Dale Davis with his 3rd foul. Hardaway with a step against McKee going in and foul. Tremendous first step by Penny Hardaway, and Dale Davis hit on the mouth. Antonio Davis, and he picks up his 3rd foul.
Antonio Davis draws the foul.
3 on Antonio Davis.
This was a real tough call. Goes in hard. He says Antonio Davis was moving, but boy, he took a shot in the mouth.
Hardaway misses the first free throw. He's 4 for 6 tonight from the line.
And if you're the opposing coach, Larry Brown, you're saying justice, justice.
Free throw shooting this half. Indiana going to the line 8 times more than the Magic. A stark contrast to the free throw shooting in the first half. Pacers by 4. So the question is, will the Magic's road woes continue as they're trailing by 4 with 4:40 on the clock? Here's Reggie Miller. That's a 2-point basket for Miller, who's got 19 in the game.
Going inside. Working McKee, trying to get a mismatch. Although Grant played him very, very well. Miller got daylight.
Here's Shaq out to Hardaway. Cut off by McKee. O'Neal inside. Looks like they can never stop him if he gets position like that. 24 points.
You can't get there quick enough to stop that turn to the middle.
Lead is 4. Reggie Miller 6 of 7 shooting here in the second half. McKee had nothing and finally put the shot up. A second time he might have forced it tonight.
They need to exploit the matchup of the big guy against Dennis Scott. They're going the other way. That leaves Grant playing straight up.
And a whistle. And Antonio Davis is bleeding, so he's going to have to come out of the game and replaced by Adrian Caldwell.
This is when the Orlando Magic, a young club, has to have a lot of patience. There's a lot of time on the clock and keep working basket by basket.
We already talked about their improved intensity defensively tonight. Hardaway from the perimeter misses. Here's Reggie Miller. It's a 4-point lead for the Indiana Pacers. Trying to break a 2-game losing streak here at home. Oh! McKee misses a short hook shot. Nick Anderson. Indiana back defensively, though. And Scott for 3. He's got it. That is number 7 tonight from downtown by Dennis Scott, who leads with 27 points.
They need to go to Dale Davis against Scott on that post-up because now they have Grant playing McKee, and he can play him straight up.
The 1-point game, and Mark Jackson tried to lead Reggie Miller a little bit too much. And on the turnover, Orlando gets the ball with 2:59 on the clock.
Really execute here. They've got Dennis Scott with the ball. That means they want something to happen where he can stand up for that 3-point shot.
Hardaway now guarded by McKee, so they got a bigger man on Penny Hardaway. 3 on the shot clock. Scott forced that one up. Loose ball foul against Indiana. And the Pacers with their 14th foul. So that will not be a shooting situation. The second foul against Derek McKee. There are the stitches on the lower lip of Antonio Davis.
That happened on the drive previously where he got called for a foul.
O'Neal nearly lost the ball out of bounds. Less than 2.5 to go in the 4th period. Scott misses. Batted out by Caldwell into the hands of Jackson. It's a 1-point Indiana lead. Here is Davis. And a wild shot, a layup by Derek McKee. He hits the deck. No foul. And a 20-second timeout called by Orlando. So the timeout story, the Magic have 2 full timeouts remaining. The Pacers have 3 with 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the 4th.
When they started that break, they had 3 on 2.5. The Magic got back in, and we'll take a look at it because it was an opportunity. Kicks to the left wing. The trailer's coming down the middle. Now he gets up in the air here, kind of comes down, hold a position. Good refereeing, I thought, because it was probably a good no call at that position.
There's a timeout story. Both teams in the penalty. Orlando with 2 full timeouts left. Indiana with 3. Want to remind you that the Magic and the Bulls will meet on Sunday on NBC at 1 o'clock Eastern, followed by the Knicks and the Phoenix Suns at 3:30. The Magic were the last team to beat the Bulls in Chicago in March of last year.
2 minutes.
And now we have under 2 minutes to go. Scott going inside to Hardaway, working against Mark Jackson. Anderson for 3, short. Shaq keeps it alive. Scott for 3, not short. He's got it.
As soon as you start doubling, which they've done every time, they kick it out and get great 3-point shots. Anderson and Scott can really burn you.
And Scott with 8 from downtown. The Magic lead by 2. Loose ball out of bounds, turned over to the Orlando Magic. So Indiana, which had a 6-point lead with 6 minutes to go, now trailed by 2 as we wind down to a minute and a half remaining.
Came down and very quickly went for a shot. Need to have a little patience, although I think Miller thought he could get fouled by going line. Here they go to Hardaway again.
Posting up against Jackson, the double team, gets it back. 6 on the shot clock. Hardaway. And the rebound by Mark Jackson. Indiana trailing the Magic of Orlando by 2. It was off the foot of Nick Anderson. With 1:08 on the clock, the Orlando Magic have scored 8 in a row to take the 2-point lead.
They go to Hardaway late in the game because of the free throw shooting of Shaquille O'Neal.
The Indiana Pacers have called a timeout, so each team has 2 timeouts remaining. And this hard-nosed game is reminiscent of Game 4 last year when these teams faced each other in the Eastern Conference Finals, and it was a battle royal just like this one is. Brian Shaw gave Orlando a 1-point lead. Reggie Miller came back to give Indiana a 2-point lead on a 3. Penny Hardaway fired a shot up With 1.3 remaining, Orlando led 93-92, and Rick Smits says today the most memorable game he's ever played and hit the shot to give the Indiana Pacers a 94-93 lead to tie the series, eventually won by the Magic in 7. That was in the Eastern Conference Finals, and tonight, Chuck, we're being treated to really a game that is emblematic of a conference final the way they played.
Yeah, well, they both know, as we stated earlier, that they'll probably meet somewhere along the line or have a good chance, and they don't want to let the other guy know that they're not going to stand up to the challenge.
And, of course, home court advantage, which has cost Indiana the last 2 years. They badly want to get as much of it as they can this time. Reggie Miller inside, no foul, and now a foul inside as Derek McKee will go to the line. Interestingly enough, Chuck, Reggie Miller has taken only one shot in this fourth quarter. Shaquille O'Neal with his 5th personal foul.
Reggie Miller comes off on the baseline. He makes it fake, comes up, and he thinks he gets fouled right there, and he does get bumped pretty good. Could easily have been a foul. The ball then went inside, and McKee went to work, and he did get the free throw, I think on the basis of what happened on the outside.
McKee 5 for 7 from the free throw line as Dale Davis comes in. Shaq, this was his 5th foul.
And there he goes right up through Shaq on his arm, and there's no way he had anywhere to go, but Shaq is there, got him on the arm, got called for the foul.
Derek McKee is delivered big time, misses the free throw, 21 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists for Derek McKee. And the Magic lead by 1, 96-95. 13 on the shot clock. Hardaway going inside to you-know-who. Anderson back to O'Neal, tipped away, and they'll call the foul on Antonio Davis. That is number 4 for Davis.
I'm wondering if it was by design on that catch, or they're going to let him handle the ball.
O'Neal 4 for 8 from the free throw line. Cooley makes the first one, and Ricky Pierce will check in for the Pacers. O'Neal's free throw percentage has gone down in each of his 4 years in the NBA. 5 for 9, but he makes 1 out of 2. Loose ball, and the Pacers call a timeout as Pierce and Hardaway grapple for the loose ball, and Indiana now has 1 timeout remaining. And we'll take a break with the Magic up by 2.
Watch this free throw, and the Pacers got lucky. Shot goes up, Shaquille misses it. Watch, hold it right there. There's a block out, but then he releases on the block out. Hardaway comes in over. Antonio gets back up, gets a hand on him, and they get the timeout as they're scrambling on the floor, so they get possession. Fortunately, they had 3. Savvy coach like Larry Brown will, in fact, have enough timeouts at the end of the game. Very, very important. If you can save them, put them in the bank.
But they still had to use it, and now they have 1 remaining, and there's Brian Hill with a pained expression on his face. So the Indiana Pacers with 1 timeout left, the Orlando Magic with 2.
Crucial on this play that you get the ball inbound. The most important thing is eventually you've got to score, but you must get the ball inbound.
Magic by 1, 36.9 remaining. Ricky Pierce will inbound. He has Antonio Davis, Mark Jackson, Derek McKee, and Reggie Miller. Jackson guarded by Hardaway. Off the screen, pick and roll to Antonio Davis. Too hard off the glass. And the rebound taken down by Penny Hardaway. And a foul called against Ricky Pierce. And the Magic will shoot 2. And a chance to extend their lead, leading by 2.
Watch Reggie Miller come off this. Gets it inside. Instead of taking his time, he had bumped him and hit him and had him on the floor. All he had to do was wait to get it easy. There's a great pass by Miller. Watch, bangs into him. Grant fakes a little bit. If he'd have taken his time, he was wide open.
Hardaway 6 for 8 from the free throw line. 21 points, but misses a critical free throw because if he makes 2, the Magic would be up by 4. Now the most they can be up would be 3 points.
And Larry Brown has got 1 full timeout. He's going to get the ball inbounds. He's going to advance it, I believe, without the timeout. And he missed the second.
He missed them both, so the lead is still 2, 97-95. Mark Jackson is called to play. 16 on the shot clock. Firing from the corner, Ricky Pierce ties it at 97 with just under 18 seconds to go.
Brian Hill elects no timeout. They're going to bring it down and go for 1 shot.
Shot clock is off with 5 seconds to go. Dennis Scott fires away and hits at the buzzer, and the Orlando Magic have won it. Dennis Scott. And it's a 3-point shot, or 0.3 of a second remain, one or the other. Dennis Scott with a 3, and the Magic can't believe that there is still some time left on the clock, and Indiana has called a timeout, their last timeout, and will get one last chance.
Brian Hill, of course, saying there is no time left. Eddie Middleton saying 0.2 of a second.
2-point basket.
That's right, you got to have 0.3. The game is over. Dennis Scott with 32 points, the winner right here, Chuck.
Backing down, he makes some unbelievable shot. Steps away on the outside foot, lofts it up over. Shot is in the air. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. They're correct.
As they usually are. So the Orlando Magic with a big win, 99-97. And right now, let's go to the hero with Craig Sager.
Well, 3D national TV, what do you expect? But obviously you're hot from the 3-point line, but that last shot, everybody all over you, impossible angle.
First of all, I got to thank God for that. My family feels good. And I just think right now we're just happy to get another big road win and just keep this thing going the rest of the season.
What about the pressure? The clock is winding down. You're looking for an open man. You have to take the shot. Explain the shot to us.
Can't think about it in that situation, Freddie. I just tried to get open, just try to make a quick move, and Ricky Pierce slipped a little bit in that turn. I went to my bread and butter and fade away on the baseline.
Obviously, you can't practice that shot.
Now, sometimes Shaquille and I, we practice a little bit in practice, and if I can shoot over 7 foot, I know I can shoot over anybody else in this league.
What about this win? What does this do to this team? I know you don't have to answer a question for me about why you always lose on the road.
It's huge for us. We went to Miami last week and got a big win. We hadn't won in this building in about, I think, 4 years. So to come here and get a tough, hard-fought win, you know, things weren't going our way, nip and tuck in the second half, but we hung together as a team. Shaq gets big rebounds, Hart makes big defensive plays. I'm hitting my threes. Nick's hitting threes. Everyone stepped up and made big plays. It's a very sweet win for us.
Were you upset there at the end that they called it a 2 instead of a 3?
Yeah, they called it 2. It didn't matter. I just know the ball went in, and I knew the buzzer sound right before it went through the net.
Playoff intensity out there today?
Oh, yes. Every time you play the Pacers, you know it's going to be a tough, hard-fought game and something that you live for, and something I left school early for, and everybody got a chance to watch. My mom, my son, everybody.
Continue on the road, Milwaukee, and then you got the Bulls. Now let's go back to the table. Let's go to Dick Stockton and Chuck Daly.